A straw is placed inside a rectangular box that is 1 inches by 5 inches by 4 inches as shown. If the straw fits exactly into the box diagonally from the bottom left corner to the top right back corner, how long is the straw? Leave your answer in simplest radical form. So just a quick hint, we get our final answer, we're going to have to try and pull out pairs of numbers, pairs of primes if we can. So just watch out for that. Okay, so first things first, let me copy. I'm just going to steal this picture right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and just use this picture to kind of work this out. So the first thing that I want to do is, what I would like to do is, let's grab, just to clarify, bottom, left, front to top, right, back. That's our goal. We want to find out the length of that. But the first step is we actually have to go ahead and make a triangle out of the base. So I know that that's 1 inch. I know that that's 5 inch. So I'm just going to draw a diagonal against the bottom. It almost looks like a cereal box. So I'm going to make a triangle. Now this corner over here, that's going to be a right angle right there. So this, although it doesn't look like it, that's going to be 90 degrees right there. So here's what the triangle could look like. Again, not perfect, but again, it's just we're trying to get something to visually represent what we're doing here. So there's my vertical, and there's the hypotenuse. My right angle is right here. This side is 1 inch. This side is 5 inches. And as I said earlier, we don't know what that is. So that's going to be my C value. And then I'm going to call this one A, and then I'll call this one B, or you can mix B and A, it doesn't matter. So now I have the Pythagorean theorem, A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. So I've got 1 squared plus 5 squared is equal to C squared. So 1 squared is 1, which is nice. 5 squared is 25. And again, remember, to square it simply means that number multiplied by itself. So 5 times 5 is 25. 1 times 1 is 1 is equal to C squared. 1 and 25 is 26 is equal to C squared. After that, we'll get rid of the square by square rooting the left and right side. So we'll have C is equal to. Now normally we get to this point and we want to go ahead and see if this will simplify, but we don't for right now. Just leave it root 26. And what that means is this diagonal right here, this diagonal along the bottom is the square root of 26. I can make that better. So this one is 26. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and switch over to blue. And now what we're going to do is we're going to create a triangle. So now that we know that bottom, this part right here, this is square root 26. And this one right here, although we don't see the number here, you can look over here. This, we're just going to move the 4 over to there. Okay, so if that's 4 there, that's 4. And we now have 26 along the bottom and 4 for the height. So all we have to do is draw another triangle and kind of do the same thing. Again, notice that the triangles look pretty much identical, and they really aren't, but whatever. So along the bottom, I have the square root of 26. For the height of it, I have 4. And this one over here, I don't know what that is. And actually, let me draw on my right angle. Just make sure I got that. So this would be a right angle right here because, again, that's the corner of a box right there. So that's going to be 90 degrees. So square root 26, 4, and we don't know what this one is, and this is going to be C. I'm going to mark this one as A, and this one as B, or you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do B and A. A and then B. So Pythagorean theorem is A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. My A is the square root of 26 squared plus my B value is 4 squared is equal to C squared. The square root and the square cancel each other, so that's going to be 26 plus 16. Remember, 4 squared is 4 times 4, which is 16, and it's not 4 times 2, which is 8. 26 and 16, that's going to give us 42, is equal to C squared. And then we'll get rid of the square, or that little superscript 2, by square rooting both sides. and we'll have c is equal to whatever that breaks down to. So let's go ahead and break down 42. Let's see if it does it. So I'm going to do 2 and 21. 21 is 3 and 7. So I've got 2, 3, 7. And if I wrote those as 2 times 3 times 7, there aren't any pairs I can pull out. So my final answer is actually going to be simply 2 times 3, which is 6, and 6 times 7, which is 42. So it actually is just square root 42. That actually does not simplify. All right, let's box that. And let's check it out. Let's see if we get a green check mark. Again, if we get a red X, that's okay, but that's just an opportunity. We want to stop and make sure we figure out our mistake. But in this case, we got it right. So hopefully you found this helpful. And notice what Delta Math does as far as their explanation. It's kind of the same thing. They drew a triangle. They used blue and I used red, I guess. And then they used green and I used blue. Whatever the case, hopefully you found this helpful and helps prepare you for the test. Thanks for taking the time to view.